What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and today it is time to talk about the TCG's Forbidden Limited list, as it has now been revealed to the TCG, and I'm sure many of you um, are not happy about this. So let the yes, mines, be filled. So, of course, I'm going to go through the list itself, and then I will talk about the individual cards and situations of them with my own opinion, and let you guys know what's going on from there. So, starting off with the cards that are forbidden, we have Fairy Tale Snow, Rodent Totem, Crystal Harpie Fibrex, Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon, and Red Reboot. For the limited section, we have Dynamite Knight, the True Draco Fighter, Cyber Angel Benton. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the unlimited. Where's the limited? Hold on. They have this in order that's incorrect. They don't have it in proper order. Okay, here we go. So for the limited section, we have Blackwing, Steam the Cloak, Cyberjar, Mega Phantom Beast, O-Lion, Subsitoad, Spellbook of Judgment, and a Pointer of the Red Lotus. And then for the cards that are unlimited, we have Dynamite Knight, the True Draco Fighter, Cyber Angel Benton, Shooting Riser Dragon, Fusion Destiny, Nadir Servant, Trickstar Light Stage, and Wall of Revealing Light, which I didn't know was oh, no, I believe it was limited. So yeah, as you can see, there is no semi-limited cards. All the cards that are on the semi-limited section of the Forbidden Limited list is, I guess, clear to go. So actually, what is semi-limited on the list? Destiny Hero Malicious, Fire Formation Tinky, and Pot of Desire. So really not anything ever interesting between those three. Okay, so let's talk about the forbidden section. If any number of cards has ever been unbanned and banned between Fairy Tail Snow and Snatch and Steal, I think they have been the two cards that have only survived being on the list and off the list within one format. That is crazy. Fairy Tail Snow, for those who don't know, she is a level 4 spellcaster type monster, 1850 attack, and I want to say about 1500 defense. And her effect was basically that she can remove 7 cards from your hand, graveyard, and or field. No, hand or graveyard. To special summon herself, and then she can select one card monster your opponent controls and put it in the face down defense position. And she basically was just a free floater. They banished a lot of stuff, and a lot of benefit came from banishing stuff. Snow is not coming back off this list. They have learned their lesson. She is way too good for a lot of decks in the game. And she created way too many chaotic situations. That's why she's back on the list. In the Forbidden section, Rodin Totem. And I think we can also equate to Swap Frog in the same sense. Now, you're going to ask, they brought back Substitute, but banned Rodent Totem. Well, here's the thing. Rodent Totem is forbidden because Rodent Totem was the problem next to how broken Totally Awesome is. As you know, Totally Awesome on the previous list is now forbidden, while here on the new list, they're going to now ban Rodent Totem and bring back Substitute. So for those who basically know why Substitute was banned, basically Substitute would tribute another monster to special summon a frog monster, another aqua type monster from the deck. What you would do is that the whole spamming of those water monsters so that you can fill up your graveyard with enough frogs so that you can pop off the mass driver. And luckily, Mass Driver is banned. But why did they keep Rodent Totem banned and not unban Swap Frog? Well, here's the thing. You can bring back Rodent Totem. And Rodent Totem can be used to tribute stuff and then be used for link summons and then still be in the graveyard and still bring more cards back. So because of this situation and because of how things are with Link 2s right now, someone had to go. And they chose for it to be Rodent Totem. And I mean, I guess the better of the two situations needed to definitely happen because it was either Rodent Totem or it was it was either Rodent Totem or we were going into the situation of, well, I guess we'll just ban both frogs. Because remember, Swap Frog could have easily been on this list at Forbidden or at Limited, and it would have been really bad. So it's kind of one of the two in that situation. So anyone who's playing Splight right now, you're probably going to be playing Splight Evil Twin or Splight Malfleet to get your rank 2 engines together. I think most people will probably still run the Swap Frog. Probably combine it now with the Substitute that's out, because now Substitute being at 1, um, does beg the question, do you think more people will play it because of the fact that it's still a legitimate engine to be used? But how far of an engine can it be used? Because it is level 1, and most of those might, oh no, maybe to exceed into, or link into, I'm sorry, not exceed, link into things. That could be also a part of that. Kriston Hakui Fibrax is now forbidden. Kriston Hakui Fibrax. We all knew this day was coming. We all knew this day was coming. We all knew Hakui Fibrax was going to be forbidden. And taking a monster from limited to forbidden, um, he dodged a lot of bullets, and there were a lot of tuners that unfortunately had to be sacrificed for Kriston Hakui Fibrax to survive. Now, why most of them have not come back because of their own reasons of being extremely broken on their own. A lot of the things that Kriston Hakui Fibrax did do was basically something Konami was trying to slow down, but will never slow down, and that's link climbing, and that's what Kriston Hakui Fibrax did. Bring out a tuner for free so you can set up for your Celine. Celine can then set up for your um, go into access code talker. Then on top of that, Kriston Hakui Fibrax also helped bring out, what is that, TG Wonder Magician, because you can bring out TG Wonder Magician with this card. Because remember, its effect to send itself and another monster to the graveyard to bring out a tuner synchro monster, meaning that you can go get TG Wonder Magician and she can pop your back row, and your back row is most likely going to be set up to have Artifact Scythe. So a lot of people are probably rejoicing that they don't have to deal with the Scythe issue. While Chaos Ruler, the chaotic magical dragon, that was just a really boss of a level 8 synchro monster. And Jesus Christ, you know it's bad when they have to start banning a synchro monster. I think they haven't banned a synchro monster in a while. So be lucky enough that this is probably one of those things, like, you guys should be happy that something like this that is really that chaotic. Because I know it was a free negate, it was a free summon, it was an easy mill. So yeah, a lot of this. Now the one card that I am very curious about is Red Reboot got forbidden. Was Eldritch really struggling with Red Reboot, or am I missing something? Because I would have never forbidden Red Reboot. I guess we're just gonna go back to 7 Tools of the Bandit. Or I guess Konami is saying, yeah, we don't like those freebies that we gave you. Even though you're paying half your life points. I mean, that's the same thing with Self Judgment. We were paying half our life points for a counter trap to negate something, and to make sure our opponent didn't have beneficial things. So with Red Reboot, yeah, that was kind of one of the coup de grace of it, was negate an opponent's trap card, force them to set a trap card, and then they can't activate any trap cards until the end of the turn, meaning that you can use your back row removal to remove them, or use card effects to help you blow up stuff, so that way you can get other cards onto the field and basically take fodder of your opponent's cards, because now they can't be used to negate your stuff. I think one of the biggest targets for Red Reboot, of course, is Infinity Impermanence. So I know that card can be very nasty if you have no real legitimate way of taking it out. All right, we're gonna move on because we have to click over twice because we got to go to the limited section. So now that Kriston Hakui Fibrax has been forbidden, Sting the Cloak and Mecha Phantom Beast Lion can now come back to the game, because that was the legitimate reason why those cards were forbidden, was because they were easy targets for Hakui Fibrax. Well, also I think Blackwing Sting the Cloak is only here because of the fact they're going to bump up the whole Darkwing Assault that's coming out. I'm sorry, Darkwing Blast in the TCG, because I can't say Assault because that's it's not child friendly. That's going to be coming out literally in a month. So of course, this is going to be a way to steamroll more Blackwing players, or more people to play Blackwing, so they can bump up the stuff that's there. Um, we've already talked about the Substitute, but let's talk about the Cyber Jar. Cyber Jar is back. Will Cyber Jar be any more impacted to the game as any of the other jars? Most likely not. Only because of the fact of this. Cyber Jar isn't a bad card. It was just a card that's been on the Forbidden Limited list that a lot of people have to remember, there's a lot of things you have to legitimately do with Cyberjar. In most of the deck out decks that use Cyberjar, like the was it empty jar decks, a lot of is it most of their stuff still limited or like semi limited and stuff like that, and then most of the cards that we're using anyway kind of can't modify because there are things that stop them now. Like we have Ash Blossoms, we have Ghost Reaper, not Ghost Reaper right here. We have Ghost Bell in the Haunted Mansion. Like we have a lot of hand traps. We have a lot of negation to deal with empty jars. So I don't know. But like I said, I'm very happy to see Cyber Jar back. That's a nice little ticket to see come off the list. Now, Spellbook of Judgment, and I think I said this too when I talked about the OCGs Forbidden Limited list when they unbanned Spellbook of Judgment. I knew eventually the TCG was going to follow right behind it and ban Spellbook of Judgment. But I did not expect Cyberjar to get unbanned in the TCG. I thought we were going to probably get someone else, or may not get anyone at all. Because what is it? Tribe is back, but the priority thing is gone. Um, I can't really say what too many Forbidden Guards are out now. I mean, look, we still have Change Your Heart, and that's literally doing nothing in the format right now, except for just being Change Your Heart. But yeah, like I said, it's a high cyber jar. It's nice to see you, but you're not going to be doing too much. But the Spellbook of Judgment, that's going to be doing a lot of things because why people are going to be playing spellbooks. That means it's going to be a high price in spellcasters. Do I think that Judgment is going to define the meta? Not really, because the thing is, you still have outs to Kaiku, you still have outs to Jowgen. Most things can just punch into them. And most of the times, is spellbooks even still fast enough to compete with what's currently out there? Because most things are going to negate, blow up, negate, summon, negate, and do all those shenanigans. So can spellbooks keep up with that? Can they sustain a field strong enough to where if they sit on Jowgen's not going to have any problems, or Jowgen's going to be high in power to where something can't knock him out. They have to use resources to take out Jowgen because one of their biggest things they can still use Secret Village of the Spellcaster um, to survive their anti-spell set situation, but then they still have to deal with anti-spell fragrance. So the Spellbook of Fate is still something strong enough to deal with that. So at least those questions there. Appointed of the Red Lotus. That's limited because they're tired of cards that are destructing hands. Um, Remember, was it Smoke Grenade of the Thief that had to be forbidden because of how broken that got? Because that was just spiritual. That was just another hand interruption setup card right there, and they did not want that card to continue on. So all right, sorry about that. Let's go on. And I've already talked about Subtoad. Let's talk about the Unlimited. Basically, all of these cards are now free to withstand the draws of life because there's nothing really attached to them. Most of the cards that were attached to them are either banned or limited, and there's like literally no point of holding them back. So starting off with what Dynamite Knight, the True Draco Fighter, yeah, Masterpiece is still forbidden, and I think a couple other cards are still limited. So the slow recovery for these, and also remember some of the new Pendulum monsters are going to come out soon. I think some of them are Dynamite, or Dyna, or Pale, have to do with their art type as well, because that's going to be a big thing. We're going to see a lot of Pendulum combo decks there too. Cyber Angel Benton, and that's simply because there's no, was that monster Eva? Eva got banned, so there's really not anything really big to deal with in terms of Drytron. So Cyber Angel players, you get your Cyber Angels back. Shooting Riser Dragon, because synchros. Fusion Destiny, there's no, what is that? There's no, uh, I should remember his name. There's no Predaplay Verde Anaconda. There we go. So there's no Verde. So you can run 3 of these. I still think that they can still be fine with having multiples of this. And, I don't really see too much of, was it Destiny in this. I don't see enough DEP being a problem. It's just that now they have access to all 3 of their Fusion Destinies, but they don't have a way to spam out their Fusion setup because there is no Verde Anaconda. Nadir Servant, just to give back Dogmatica what little boost they needed. even though, like I said, the fusion setup is not what it used to be now because there is no vertical anaconda. The Trickstar Light stage, I don't even remember what the purpose of that being limit. Oh, you know what? Because it's burn. That's probably why it's burn. It's burn in the search for Trickstars, and Trickstars were basically like fodder for fusion decks and fusion combo shenanigans. And we're all feeling like that's there because of this whole. I know that was limited because of the same situation with Light Stage. Too many. Well, no, that's more so a burn and stall out situation with Walls with Revealing Light. But even then, like if most people just put back row removal, then get over things. So the only other thing to talk about, of course, I know most people are salty about is that there's no Mystic Mind. Mystic Mind did not get forbidden. It did not get hit by the Forbidden Limited List in the TCG. So I guess put some more salt on there because we're going to see a lot more players playing Mystic Mind. And to be very honest with you, I don't think Mystic Mind is a problem. I just think TCG Yu-Gi-Oh players are just bad at the game. But that's just my opinion. Maybe some of you guys should just get good and play back row. And play back row removal. You're complaining about a card, well, just blow it away or destroy it. And I thought some of us have decks that can do that. Yours can't. Just yeah, that's pretty much it for my video, and I can't wait for tons of dislikes it's gonna get because I still stand with Mystic Mind. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Forbidden Limited List in the comment section below. Of course, I'll leave a link to the Forbidden Limited List in the description box. You guys can check it out for yourselves if you haven't already seen it, because I'm sure everyone has seen it by this point. And with that said, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel as it helps out tremendously. You can hit the notification bell so you guys can be informed of when I do upload more content to the channel. Social media links are in the description box below, and I will catch you guys next time. HPJ signing out. Take care.